Yeah. So, hello and good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's webinar. First of all, I would like to wish all the amazing women joining us today a very happy International Women's Day, and a big thank you to everyone who is here with us to celebrate this occasion. So, for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm your host for today's session, Divya Tripathi, an AI engineer at KodeMaster AI and a member of the Genesis team. Today is 8th March, and today's day is indeed very special because of the fact that today is International Women's Day, a reminder that progress doesn't happen automatically. It happens when we create opportunities, support each other, and open doors for the next generations. And when women gain access to mentorship, visibility, and leadership spaces, the impact goes far beyond individuals. It shapes teams, industries, and the future of technology in itself. And today's webinar is all about that only. As you can guess from the title, Women in Tech from Design to AI, Building Digital Products Together. Through this session, we will explore how different roles in technology, from design to marketing to engineering, come together to build a real digital project or product. To add to this event is also part of Build with Codemaster AI Hackathon series, where we are bringing together students, builders, and innovators to explore and create with AI. With that, let's begin and meet our speakers for today. Let's welcome our first speaker, uh, Rati, who is a UX designer at KodeMaster AI and plays a key role in designing the intuitive and engaging user experiences for people visiting the KodeMaster AI website. Up next, we have Harshitha, who handles the marketing side of our platform, and she will be talking about how much marketing is essential for the brand visibility and to ensure that the product reaches to our customers. And following up, we have the man behind Codemaster AI who built it, the front end and the back end perspective of the website, and that's Srinjoy Das. So, thanks to everyone for joining this webinar. And a very happy International Women's Day to Rati and Harshita. Welcome to the webinar. How are you both? Over to you,
I'm
Rati.
doing great and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm doing great and thank you for having me today, Divya. And happy Women's Day to you as well.
Thank you so much. How are you,
Thank you,
Harshita?
Divya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here. And happy Women's Day to everyone who is joining us today.
And how are you, Srinjoy?
I'm good. I'm doing pretty well. And same happy Women's Day to everyone. Harshitha, Divya, and Rati, and everybody who is joining us today.
Thank you so much. And thanks to all of you for joining today. And what we are going to talk about in today's session is we are going to talk about the intersection of UI, UX, the intersection of marketing, and the intersection of engineering all together, the amalgamation of all the three components to build a really beautiful and successful digital product. Moving forward, we will also be looking forward to the demo, which will be given to us by Srinjoy Das, who is the founding engineer at Codemaster AI. So, without a further ado, let's get started and hear from our speakers, starting with the design side of technology, because every digital product begins with the understanding of user experience. To start with, I would like to ask Rati a very valid question. Since he handles the design side of the website, could you please help us understand what UI UX design really mean or like what a typical day looks like for someone working in this field?
Yeah, so thank you for the question, Divya. So UI UX design is essentially about creating digital products that are enjoyable, easy to use, and intuitive. And it basically focuses on understanding user, their goals, and designing experiences that can help them accomplish those goals. And as for working in this field, a typical day can be quite dynamic and it varies. The responsibilities vary from day to day. But to give you a picture, it often starts with understanding the problem we are trying to solve, and that could involve looking at the user feedback and discussing new ideas with the team. So in codemaster we like discuss problems and discuss ideas with the product team and brainstorm solution, and then we designers we go on to creating wireframes and high fidelity designs, prototyping, and get like early feedback. And collaboration, I would say, is a very integral part of the design process. So we get a lot of feedback early on and continuously improve the product.
Yeah, I mean, what you said is absolutely right. And I would rather, present one more point of view as well, that most people get confused that UI UX is more of about creativity, designing the UI of the website or those wireframes. They get confused that, this is just creativity. But no, it's more than creativity. It's the amalgamation of creativity plus problem solving at the right perspective and at the right proportion. Right. So adding to that, like just
Yeah.
a very curious questions, like which any fresher or any student entering or planning to enter into the field of UI UX will be that what advice will you give to students who are just starting their careers in this field? So how should they be approaching to this field? What should be their approach? And another valid question is, like, a technical degree like BTech, is it really necessary to build a career in this space?
Yeah, so first of all, what you mentioned about that design is not just creativity. That's like a very good point. A lot of freshers do think that it is all about creativity, but it is much more than that. It is psychology, it is understanding the user needs, and like so much more. So that's like really great point. As for students and freshers who are trying to enter the UI UX field, the good news is that it's a very interdisciplinary field, so you do not need a BTech degree or even a design degree. We have people from various industry, from business, arts, psychology. So what I would say really matters is that you have the right skill set, and the way you students and freshers can develop that skill set is by building real life projects and building a portfolio which can showcase that they have the capability to approach problems, to solve user problems. So I think I would say that that's something, building real world project is something that can set them really apart. And in the end, what your individual degree is, uh, your like skill set will always outweigh that. So yeah.
I mean, thanks, Rati, and I really appreciate how you emphasized the importance of having a right skill set, because people nowadays think that having a degree is equivalent to getting a job as soon as they get done with their degree. So thank you so much for raising that point, that having the right skill set is what matters the most. And obviously degree do matters, but to just a certain extent in the initial stage
Yeah.
maybe. But what takes you a long way is your skill set. So moving forward, like since we
Yeah.
all know this is the era of AI, every day new technology is coming, right? So like people might be thinking that oh, since AI has come and it has automated so many repetitive tasks, do you think that UI UX field is gonna change in any way, or like will it replace designers, or like do you see any way in which the designers work in the future with the AI coming up?
Yeah. So I would say that AI is definitely like influencing our design like workflows, but I do not think that it can replace like designer, because design process is a highly contextual uh, you know uh, part. And AI, like currently, like even at Codemaster, we do use AI, but it is something which helps us in the initial process. Like when we are like starting with a design and we have to explore a lot of different directions, so we can immediately like come up with uh, uh, like different what I would say like solutions and get a clarity on which direction to go. But after that, the design process, like most of the responsibility about knowing the context and having a system level thinking, that responsibility lies on the designer, and it is the designer's responsibility to shape the overall product in a way that the user experience is really good.
Yeah, so like what I can get from your point of view is that AI is like a helpful teammate which can help us enhance the workflow rather than taking over the role of a designer. So I think it will be a better idea
Yeah, true.
if we are more open to AI and use it and embrace it with open arms and use it for avoiding redundant work and maybe just use it as a teammate which can help us in guiding the initial stage of the workflow and all. Right, Rati?
Yeah, that's like a really good way to summarize it. Like basically, AI is becoming more of a collaborator that helps design like move from ideas to insights rather than something that can, designer have to be afraid of. So yeah, you've really put like in a good way.
Thanks, Rati. Now, now that since a product is built, so it is designed and developed, the next important step is making sure that people can discover it and understand its value, and that's where marketing and product communication comes into the role play, which helps in connecting technology with the right audience. So now I would like to invite Harshita from the KodeMaster AI marketing team to share how tech products reach the users and grow. So over to you, Harshita.
Yeah, thank you, Divya. So, whenever once a product is built, the next big challenge is helping the right people discover it and also making sure understand like why it matters and also to whom it matters. So that's where product marketing and communication plays an important role. So the first step is always about understanding the target audience, like what challenges are they facing, how the product can improve their user experience or their daily life. And based on this, we kind of create messages that are simple, clear, and relevant. And instead of using complex and technical language, and we in Codemaster AI also focus on explaining how the platform helps students, developers, and builders work with AI in a practical and in a more meaningful way. The goal is to make technology feel approachable rather than overwhelming. And good marketing is all about building trust, clarity, and also helping users to see the real value a product provides. Yeah, so that is what I feel about this.
Yeah, I mean, I really, appreciate the point which you have put up that marketing is all about good one, building trust, clarity, and helping users see the real value a product provides and to connect a product with the right audience. Because if you're not able to connect the product with the right audience, then maybe you won't be able to get a very good constructive criticism based on the product you are advertising, right?
That's very true.
Exactly. So, from what can I get from your explanation is that marketing doesn't work in isolation, right? You need to
True.
collaborate with the engineering team, the team of builders, as well as with the audience or let's say the customers in order to ensure that the market process of marketing is successful. So, like, very curious to know how do you collaborate with designers, engineers, or business teams to make sure the product message is communicated effectively?
Mm. So, when coming to reality, none of the roles work separately. I mean, building a product always involves collaboration between design teams, engineering, tech, non tech, and the teams that communicate towards the product. And we work with designers to ensure the visuals, branding, and messaging staying consistent with the product experience. And with engineers, we try to understand like what product features and details so we can explain them in a more user friendly way. So it's more about collaborative process where everyone contributes to making the product understandable and useful. In a product focused company like Codemaster AI, marketing is not just a promotion, it's about understanding the product deeply, translating technical capabilities into user benefits, and also making sure the right message reaches the right audience.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely correct, Harshita. And you really explain the marketing perspective, like the importance of collaboration in marketing in a very beautiful way. So, moving on, like, since, I'm still new in my career and I'm still a fresher, right? So, I think every, fresher or person who is looking forward to join or get into the field of consultancy, there always some confusion between marketing, sales, and consultancy. So is it like that all these three roles are same, or like they overlap, or how are these roles different?
So, this is a question many people have, and marketing mainly focuses on creating awareness and helping people understand what is the value of this product. And when coming to sales, it usually happens later stage when someone is already interested in your product and you are helping them move toward using the product.
Right.
And when coming to the consultancy, it is totally
Mhm.
different again because it involves providing expert advice or tailored solutions to solve a specific problem. So all these three are connected somewhere, but all these three also play different roles in overall journey.
Yeah. So, like, what I can get from your explanation is that all these three roles are important, but they operate at different stages of the customer journey. Like, marketing is more of about creating
Correct.
awareness about the product and connecting the product with the right audience. When we talk about sales, it's more of about direct interaction with the customers, converting interest into action, right? And consultancy comes at the root of problem solving, where we usually provide expert advice or customized solution to solve a particular problem, right, Harshita?
Yes, yes, very true.
Correct. So, like, so far we have talked about design and marketing aspects of building a product. Now we are moving to the engineering side and actually see the platform in action. So, for this, now I would like to invite Srinjoy Das, the founding engineer at Codemaster AI, who has definitely played a key role in building the platform from both the front end and back end perspective. So, Srinjoy will now give us a quick walkthrough of the platform Codemaster AI. Over to you, Srinjoy.
Yeah, sure. So let me share my screen here.
But let me one thing before we jump into the demo. Don't you think it will be a valid, thing to briefly tell our audience about what Codemaster AI is and the problem we are trying to solve? And maybe after that, you can give us a quick demo of how the platform works.
Right, right, absolutely. So, Codemaster AI, as you may heard, that this is a upskill and skill development platform where candidates can come and practice their day-to-day activities, whether it is mock interviews, whether it is like project building, whether it is like solving data structures and algorithms questions, which are like useful in day-to-day interviews, right? So in interviews, like lot of people will ask you data structures and algorithms. Lot of people will ask you um, projects, like how do you build projects. It will ask they will ask you architectural questions and all of these things, right? So practicing if all these things in a single platform in a structured way is very necessary. So that is what Codemaster AI provides you. You can practice mock interviews, like let's say for example your campus placements are going on, right? And you have a mock interview tomorrow, sorry, no, actual interview tomorrow. And what if you can practice that actual interview before giving that actual interview? So you can just hop into Codemaster AI, start a mock interview, and like practice that exact scenario. You can also like paste your job description and like prepare the exact interview one to. Codemaster AI's AI interviewer is designed in such a way that it like mimics like maximum of the production questions that gets asked in your actual interview. and it has like three phases. One is like a technical interview, one is coding interview, and one is a soft skill interview. So in an interview round, these all three interview rounds takes place usually, like starting from the technical to coding to soft skills. So you can practice all these three, learn how to tackle technical questions, learn how to do coding in an actual interview. The coding interviewer of Codemaster AI actually sits there and sees what code you are writing, and it understands everything that you are writing and ask you all the valid questions that actual human interviewers ask you in real coding interviews. So these things are really necessary to practice beforehand so that you don't feel that pressure cooker moment when you just directly hop into that actual interview scenario.
Correct.
So these are the things that Codemaster AI provides really nice. And one of the like most exciting features is the project challenge feature, where in the age of AI, people will ask you like more core subjects. Like for example, like how like all those systems level thinking people will ask you in day to day life. If you may know from like the early from where computer science was there and like software engineering jobs were so hyped up, everything was just DSA, DSA, DSA. Now, in day-to-day life, now it is 2026 and 2027 and so on. What will happen is, like what is predicted is that data structures and algorithms will not be that much important. And if you see that coding models are getting better day by day. At the like I'm like pretty sure like in 1 to 2 years it will like write all the code, like humans won't even to have to touch writing code. So where does the job preserve then? The job is like the systems thinking, the engineering mindset, the designing of applications you have to do. That is really necessary, and that is like highly debatable that an AI can do or not. The AI can do, but it can't communicate with customers, it can do market research, it can do market research also, but in not in that level of scale what humans can do. So and that feeling of building something, that emotional attachment of building something is also should be necessary, that you are building something great for the people and by the people. So you have to be emotionally attached with the product so that you build a really nice product there. That is absolutely necessary. And this kind of things like having the systems level thinking and all these important things, right, which just is not just writing code, it is like thinking about what code to write and what systems to build. So that is what Codemaster AI provides you. That is a project challenge feature where you can like build real world projects, like classical projects, like build your own garbage collector, build your own load balancer, which are all used in a massive scale, so that you learn under the hood concepts like how does these things work, how does these things perform in massive scale, all those things. So like it's a really good thing to place all these features in one place, and like students can go through, monitor their progress and improve daily.
Yeah, I mean, from the explanation, it seems like a platform worth exploring. So, like, I'm just really looking forward to a walkthrough of the platform.
Yeah, sure. So I'll be presenting my screen here.
Yeah, sure.
Just let me know if it is visible.
Yeah, it is visible now.
Okay. So this is the platform. This is the dashboard where you can see everything. Let's say you're like starting an interview. Whatever interviews you have given, or what is your current progress and everything. You have a bot here that is its name is Cody. You can ask it like what are the interviews I can prepare tomorrow. For example, if I ask, I have a backend interview tomorrow, so give me some interviews to prepare from. So Code is like your learning assistant that keep a tracks of your progress, everything. How is your progress? How is your results been? All the on those mock interviews, how are you approaching problems? All those things. It is like a personal tutor with all your personal memory with it, and it can guide you through your development process and your preparation process, whether it is for jobs, whether it is for any other things. So as you can see. Here, like it said to excel in your backend interview tomorrow, focus in this role-based mock interviews tailored to strengthen in your skills. Backend engineer, Python, Node.js, and Go. It gave me three languages because I am like proficient in these three languages, which has this like Cody has it in its memory that I like generally practice around these three languages. so I can just go there and like practice these interviews anytime. So here, if I go and like start the interview, you can just actually practice this backend interview before like your actual interview. So let me quickly give a quick tour about how this interview thing is working. So Codemaster AI analyzes your job description very nicely, and it like prepares and fetches all the real world questions that gets asked in your day to day life, whether it is changing. Let's say at day one it is changing, and day one it is some questions that are like very trending in interviews. In day two it is next set of questions that are trending. Codemaster AI's interview agent is like absolutely up to date with these things, where it asks you all the trending questions and all the core concepts that are very uh, like very likely to be asked in an actual interview for that particular role. So I would just go there and let's see, join the room.
Yeah, so I see that the interview has started, and the interview will be taken
So
by
yeah,
Cody, the interviewer.
do you guys yeah do you guys hear the sound, or the sound is not audible
No, the sound is
for
not
this
coming.
interview?
Mm, it's not coming.
Okay, should I reshare the screen with the sound, I guess?
Yeah, sure, if it's possible.
But let me reshare the screen with the sound. Yeah, yeah.
So, like the key unique feature of Codemaster AI platform is that it provides us personalized experience to the user. So, which differentiates it from the any existing marketing platform, which provides us the interview feature or not. Is it
It is
saying
not visible,
something?
is it? Wait. No, I'm asking, is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Okay, one sec.
Great. Let's start with the theory phase. First question. Can you explain how you would implement error handling in a RESTful API built with Node.js while managing asynchronous operations?
Yeah, I would handle error handling primarily through try catch, and if I'm making a REST API and it has some some if some errors occur, I would easily able to catch it out. I will make a basic middleware calculation configuration mechanisms, and that's useful to catch errors while running a program.
Thank you for your response. You mentioned using middleware and error mechanisms like try catch and catch slash methods. How do you think the event driven architecture of Node.js plays a role in error handling within your API?
So as you guys can see, this is like it is asking like normal questions that gets asked in a backend developer interview in Node.js. So first it asked me like while building some REST APIs, what are some error handling mechanisms you used in your day-to-day coding life, and I answered it. And the next question it is asking me like what is the event-driven architecture of Node.js plays a role in Node.js runtime. So these are basically like very important questions people should know about Node.js runtime, how it performs, how its async loop runs, all these things. And as you can see, it is also asking the questions. It also has the capability of understanding whether you're answering it right or wrong. That is what AI is for. It is just not pronouncing the actual questions. Let's say you are getting some answers wrong or you are getting it right, it will go deep and ask you some more tough questions. It is like that. So this is like the interview feature of us, and after the interview is done, you can just simply go here and you can just simply go here and see your actual report what you gave the interview for. So this takes at least like 1 to 2 minutes to generate the interview, but yeah, like you can like see your interview results and you can like process from it how your interview went. So I would just go to some previous interviews that I gave and try to see some completed interviews. Let's see this one, right? Tokenization and text processing. This was a coding interview where you actually code in that interview. So you can see this chunking a simple sentence with a max token limit. This was the question here, like the problem statement, and this was the initial template, and this was the code I wrote. So, and code execution results was accepted, and this was the output. And these are the final verdict. You can see the total summary of the code quality, the correctness, the efficiency, the edge cases, the readability, everything. And complexity analysis also, it gives you in a very nice way what is the time complexity, what is the space complexity. And you can like analyze all these test scores and you can like get a very thorough explanation of like what is happening in your interview score, and you can understand, okay, I have to improve in this areas, and you can like prepare those things and come back more stronger the next day. And this is the question analysis also. Let's say you are answering some questions which went wrong, so you can see all these questions here. Let's say the question was, the interval mentioned an incomplete if statement on line 12 and missing a return for the chunks indicating a possible logical structure flow. So this is the analysis of the question and suggested correct answer. So it also provides that where you went wrong and why you went wrong and what could be the actual answers for a like what could have been actual interview level answer. So this is the interview feature of Codemaster AI, where like you can do all these things. And now moving on to like some other features we have. Let's say for coding challenges. For coding challenges, it is like you may have seen other platforms like LeetCode or HackerRank, which like prepares you for solving data structures and algorithms questions. This is also the same thing, but the twist is here that lot of questions are here like company based, and also the questions are very like curated in a very nice way, which involves a lot of concepts. Like questions in lead code and hacker rank are already pretty much the same, but here questions are a little bit different. Some are a little bit tweaked, or some are like the complexity varies, and a lot of different mechanisms and concepts are used in one concept. So if you solve these questions, this gives you a very nice click of the brain that okay, you are able to think that way. So that if some like very strange CSA looking questions comes in your interview, you can like process your brain. So this is the coding challenges feature, and you can go in and set like the traditional way of solving DSA question, that compiler will come on the right hand side and the question will come on the left hand side. Um, yeah. So this is the question and this is the compiler. You can select any language you want to solve and you can just solve it. So this I'm pretty sure like everybody knows like how to solve DSA questions and how these kind of platforms work. Like there are a lot of platforms out there. So this is our coding challenge feature. And going on to our like project challenge feature, which I was talking about, which is like important for the future for people to learn. Like you can see there are multiple tools like build your own GTI commit tool. What is this? So let's say people use GitHub day to day life. You make a bunch of changes and you are able to push the code to GitHub. At the time point when you write that commit message. So what commit message do you write? Sometimes I write ABCD, sometimes I write my name, sometimes I write whatever comes in my mind. But that is not good, right? You should like maintain a good commit history. So if something goes down, you can see GitHub and trace down the commit logs and see, okay, this is this, and this was the error point that it was there. So you go in a checkpoint manner. So you make a Git AI commit tool, that is whatever code changes you are doing, and based on the code changes, your program should understand what was those code changes, and it should generate a brief commit message for it. So that is a very handy tool that everybody can use. So that is like build your own Git AI commit tool, build your own Unix shell. So you use terminals in day-to-day life, right? You parse behind folders and you go through folders, make some files, delete some files, create files or whatever in terminal, right? Everybody uses terminal in day-to-day life, but have you built your own terminal? Have you thought how does it work day to day and how does a terminal talk to your operating system so nicely? So that this project challenge is for that. And build your own garbage collector is also the same thing. That is a very like basic concept which people easily neglect, but in like for example in high frequency trading firms, in HFT firms, like concept of garbage collectors not getting used properly will end up losing money for that particular firm. So if you understand how a garbage collector works by building it, it is like very up to the mark. You are very up to the mark, and you become a very good engineer by learning this one project only, because it is useful in very large amount of scale. It is used in like live streaming companies like Twitch, YouTube, anywhere, and it is used in HFT firms, especially in financial infrastructure, all those places.
Hmm.
Build your
Correct.
Python interpreter. You can make your own compiler of Python. Build your own load balancer. Like in previous live stream, we were like focusing on this particular challenge, build your own load balancer. So these are all these projects, and we will be adding more. So build your own GPT from scratch, build your own WhatsApp, build your own Netflix clone. Every week there is new projects coming in. So people should try and like make these projects efficiently so that they get that good systems level thinking out of it.
Yeah, and all these projects are industry relevant, which makes you unique from the rest of the crowd, right?
Yep, absolutely. So as you can see, each project challenge has like 20 to 30 steps, and you can like go through that. This is the project setup, and it is like you're defining the data structures here, and then the hash function you define the probe functions which are important for a garbage collector. Then you should have the pointer, like which garbage to collect, which unused memory space you are going to collect. That is the you should understand what pointers are and how to use pointers in a garbage collector. What is the remove pointer, how to resize table, how to start stop, how to make an alloc basic counter, how to make a calloc implementation. All these things up to step 20, you will like make your entire garbage collector and deploy it on your own. Who knows, in future you can make your own language which has a garbage collector or maybe not. So it this will like really help in your day-to-day basis. And this project challenge feature, like every step you have to like read it, understand what you are building, and Codemaster AI's content is built in such a way that you don't have to understand everything. You just have to have a basic knowledge of the language and a little bit knowledge about computer science, and it just teaches you along the way. You just learn by building how these things work. So instead of reading a book how garbage collector works, why not make a garbage collector and learn how to do it? Have your parents taught you how to ride a cycle by just reading how to ride a cycle? You just actually rode a cycle and learned it, right? So that is
Yeah.
how learning should be. That is how like the project challenge feature is made. You should like understand how to make complex and very intelligent projects in such a way that you can make your own. So this is the project challenge feature. Feel free to try out all these beautiful projects that are out there, and every day, every week, new projects are coming in. And let's say, for example, if you get stuck somewhere, you can just simply go here and ask Cody about it. Cody will answer you all the doubt, whether it is project challenge, whether it is coding challenge, or even your interviews also. So this is a very useful feature where you have a learning assistant in your edtech platform. So
Correct.
yeah, this is all the features of Codemaster AI. And if you see, you have mock interviews, you have project challenges, you have coding challenges. All this covers pretty much all the aspects which an engineer need to master. You should master data structures and algorithms at the day one, which is like good for writing code and understanding like good essential memory level architecture. After data structures and algorithm, you should understand how to you should understand a tech stack. Let's say you learn backend or ML or AI. Now you should understand how to make an end-to-end project, a scalable project. That is what project challenge is for. And now you have done everything. Now it's time to get a job. go and start giving mock interviews. You will like practice your mock interviews, all these three formats: HR rounds, coding interviews, technical rounds. You can practice everything. Reports you will get, you can analyze those reports, everything, and understand what is going right for you, what is going wrong for you, and get prepared day to day. So yeah, these are all the fantastic features of Codemaster AI. So yeah.
So CodeMaster AI platform helps to make you an impactful engineer, which every company needs, and makes you a system thinker, which helps you to differentiate from the lines of engineer, which we have in India. So every house has three, four engineers. So what differentiates you from the crowd is system level thinking, and for that, CodeMaster AI is the right platform to build that right system thinking. So, thank you so much, Srinjoy, for the insights from the platform. And the platform is really good. And yeah, to add to this, we also have this hackathon going on, as I told in the very beginning, built with Codemaster AI, where AI meets real builders. And this is not just another hackathon. This is where we give the builders a startup style experience and helps the builders build under pressure, because how you grow as an engineer definitely depends on how you work under pressure. And this is the right stage for that. And people who haven't registered for the hackathon, go to our platform codemaster.ai and register for the hackathon. And the build window will be starting soon, and it will be running till 20th of March. And the problem statements will also be releasing soon. And since this is today's Women's Day, and to celebrate the spirit of women in tech, we also have a special prize for all girls team. So all the women out there, go and register for the hackathon. This is the right platform to grow yourself in tech, because from personal experiences, and people already know that there are very like the representation of female in tech is really less. So I think initiatives like these are really necessary to initiate the participation of women in STEM. So, so guys, what are you waiting for? Registrations are still open. Go and hit the register button and register for the hackathon. So, thank you so much, Sunjoy. But before we wrap up today's session, we would love to spend a few minutes hearing from our speakers about their journeys and experiences working in tech, especially since many students are joining us today, might be exploring similar career paths, or people who might be watching the recording of this webinar in the future. So I just had a couple of questions to ask from each of our speaker. So the first question is to like each one of you is, how did you first get interested in your field? Over to you, Rati. I would like to hear from you first. How did you get to know that you have a flair for UI UX, or like UI UX is your calling?
Yeah, so well, initially, what drew me to the field was the creative aspect of design. Like a lot of freshers and students also, that's what they get into design for. But I would say what made me stay was the problem solving aspect of it. Like that's really what like keeps me excited on day-to-day basis. And over time, I also realized that it's more about understanding user needs than just creating pretty visuals and translating complex ideas into experience that can feel easy to use and intuitive. So what I would say, what really keeps me going now or keep me excited on day-to-day life is like much more than just like the visuals or the initial reason why I ended up in this field. And if we like think about design, like as even Srinjoy said, and as you were asking me about the AI, like how much emotional connection, matters when we are creating and building a product. I was like listening to a design podcast recently, and they were talking about how like humans like to see life in non-livings all the
Hmm.
time. So how even the applications which are out there, like we have a lot of social media, but in all the social media, our personalities will be different. People use it differently and they showcase themselves differently. You are different on Instagram and WhatsApp. So like it was like very interesting to know. And like no matter you're like coding or designing, I think that like humanness is like what is like the most interesting thing about it all. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really lovely explanation, and I really love the fact that you touched on the humanization point, because it's really necessary that we have an emotional connect with our platform, or with the product we are building, because when we are building a product, we need to show proper ownership towards that thing, and ownership cannot come until and unless we don't have that emotional connect with our product or the feature we are building. So moving to you, Harshita. So
Yeah.
how did you decide that marketing is your call?
Yeah. So for me, the interest in marketing really started with curiosity about how ideas connect with people. For example, a product can be technically brilliant, but if people don't understand like why it matters to them, they might never really use it. So that is what really fascinated me. So the process of shaping a story around a product and also helping people see how it can solve a real problem or also just improve their experience for sale. Over time, that curiosity kind of grew into a deeper interest in marketing, especially in the environments where you are working closely with product and engineering teams.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, thank you so much, Harshita, for sharing your, the starting point, which made you realize that marketing is your call. And, marketing is really necessary to ensure that a product grows, whether it in terms of financially or making it accessible to the customers. Because in India, how a product grows is the product which is visible is the one which grows. क्योंकि एक कहावत है जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So marketing is the thing which helps to implement that and makes a product to do wonders, because when it comes into use, it means that the product is getting into execution and it is being implemented. So that's where the whole game of marketing comes into play. So thanks for that. And moving into the engineering side of building the product, Srinjoy, how did you decide that building scalable backend systems is your call?
Yeah. So I mean, like from my childhood only, I was like into building some small things. When I was like very little, I started with some small craft items. I used to make small guns, small like small items here and there. Like there used to come some mechanics toy, where you intersect everything and make a circuit and connect everything and make some little toy out of it. So I was always into this like building something. So that kind of like made my like engineering mindset where I wanted to build something from scratch and all these things. And later on when I grew up a little bit, I started doing like robotics programming. I used to program microcontrollers, like embedded systems and all these things. And then slowly when I came to college, I always wanted to pursue a degree in computer science. It was also hype to pursue a degree in computer science, but also like out of interest also, because I was like generally interested in computer science from my childhood. So I pursued into computer science. Then I learned data structures and algorithms and understood, okay, how does all like data flows in your particular program? How does every data structures contribute in different ways? How are each different and how which is better, which is not? All these things I learned. Then like these things happen with all the engineers. You practice data structures and engineers data structures and algorithms for
Algorithms.
one month, and your brain screws up a little. So you just lose interest from computer science after practicing DSA. But like I talked with a senior that like I used to love computer science, but now DSA just messed with my head so much that I don't like it anymore. I want to leave this degree. So my college senior told me that go and like start development, like try back end or front end or anything. I started with front end, like designing web pages, all these things. So I used to see, okay, I'm doing some HTML, CSS, JavaScript stuff, and some design is showing, very cute. So it was looking nice. It was feeling nice, but I still didn't got that feeling like solving like complex problems. Like obviously front end engineering is very very complex, but designing, I was very bad at drawing and very bad at designing, so designing was not my thing. So front end was not my thing. So like I tried back end, so then like it struck my head, okay, there is a lot of concepts in backend. There's like solving a lot of problems, scalability problems, data problems, like thousands of problems that are out there in backend. So there, like my problem solving mindset was, like getting applied there. So that helped my mind there. So I was entirely focused on backend, and then I learned entire backend engineering, made scalable systems, learned a bunch of languages, and contributed to open source like Node.js, Gathered Town, Encore, and made some computer games of mine also, like 2D Minecraft and some Battleship Warrior. All these things I made, and yeah, these things like give me interest about I learning computer science. And whoever is learning computer science, I would definitely recommend like make some basic small games out of it. That gives you an interest, like your programming, how it is getting shown in the real world. So that gives a good feel about it.
Yeah, I mean that was I guess a very relatable explanation of how you decided that backend is your calling, and I really related with your DSA point, because I'm also going through that DSA journey only, and after some point of time, the legit happens that why am I not getting to that particular solution. So sometimes it also makes me question myself also, but then obviously I believe that these are the things which should be labeled as just as the byproduct of our engineering journey, and we should just move on and stay consistent, and obviously get into development, because it's really necessary that you know how to build projects, and development is something which also gives you an edge over other people, since TSA is something which every student is doing, or
Mm.
they put in their resume. So thanks for saying that. So another question which I have for all three of you is that suppose like if a student is getting into any of your fields, suppose a person is getting into design or marketing or backend, so what would you advise uh, those students who are just starting their careers, and like what skills they should focus on if they want to enter tech today? So over to you, Rati.
Yeah, so my advice for students or fresher would be that uh, like start by building projects as early as possible. I think as I'm listening to you people, it does not matter be it design field or coding field. In tech, learning really happens by building and experimenting. So work on real projects which help you turn your ideas into like something tangible, something real, and it will also help you like develop a portfolio that will eventually show how you solve problem, how you approach problem. So yeah, that would be like one advice that I would like to give. Start building as early as possible.
Hmm. Over to you, Harshita.
Yeah. So, for students or generally anyone who is exploring this phase, I would suggest focusing on three things. So, first, work on your communication and clarity, that is, being able to explain ideas in a simple way. And second, try to understand like how products actually work behind the scenes, like what happens in the background, how many teams do they have to work with to come to see the final product. So because that helps you connect better with your users, and also make them explain the use of why they're using it or why they should use it. And finally, gain practical exposure to projects or internships, because on any day real experience teaches you far more than theory.
Hmm. And what about you, Shinjoy?
Yeah. So what I would recommend to beginners is like don't see computer science as a like a career you should pursue. See it as a hobby, or see it as a like how you see playing a guitar, or
Hmm.
how you see dancing, or any kind of hobby you might have. So it should be like a hobby, and you should learn building stuff through programming. And not only programming, you should not only learn how to code, you should also learn how to make and design software, design applications. That is like very necessary to have in this era. And also like you should not, like in beginners, like lot of people think that okay, this concept we can leave, but some concepts are very much crucial. Like if you in some people might relate, like computer networks is a very
Hmm.
like
Vast
interesting
topic.
subject,
Hmm.
interesting subject in BTech, right? In second year, or in some colleges third year, people learn that and then forget about it.
Hmm.
But if you make systems at that scale, that is like it is needed very much. Computer networks is needed very much, and now we are in a live stream that is also 90% computer networks right there. So you need to understand all the basics in a very nice way. And I can guarantee you that if you have a grip in basics, then it becomes so much easy to tackle hard problems. Like any systems you make, if you are making something new that is not out there anymore, or if it is like already existing but you want to make it better, everything is like mastering the basics. There is no rocket science. Even a rocket scientist has mastered the basics and became a rocket scientist. So
Hmm. Shinjoy, your voice is not coming. Hmm.
okay, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, again, the as I was saying, the basics is the ultimate goal to everything. If you know basics, you will be able to do advanced things. So yeah, learn basics, take computer science as a hobby, not as a career. And that
Correct.
is from my view. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your views, Shinjoy. So, like, what I can get from your explanation is that no matter how complex the topic is, or no matter how loud the hype is, the basics are, anyways, anytime the loudest. And from the three of you, what I can conclude is that whether it's design, marketing, or engineering, curiosity, consistency, and practice are the key. And platforms like Codemaster AI can help you explore, learn, and apply these skills in a guided and a practical way. So before we conclude this session, like for all this while since the very beginning, I have been asking you guys the question. So I just want to give you guys a liberty. Like if you guys have any questions to ask from me, you can ask. If any one of you want to ask.
Yeah. So I would like to go first.
Hmm.
So in this like Codemaster AI hackathon, right? Build with Codemaster AI and Genesis, this
Hmm.
hackathon. So what kind of uh, like projects you want to see from students? Like how do you want to evaluate these projects, and
Hmm.
uh, at what limit you want to see these projects?
Well, to what extent I want to see the projects, that would definitely be something answerable by the judges only. But to a bare minimum extent, what how we want the participants to build any project is number one, implement a real world use case project. It should not be any existing wrapper which you have just to seen on any social media platform and thought that, oh, this seems very fascinating and this thing is in the air or in the boom, so we should be implementing that. No, that's not
Hmm.
how you build any project. You build any project from a real world use case perspective. So if you think that you can build a project and are working on that project, I think you're already getting brownie points over there. And the second thing is that the system thinking. what differentiates you from the other participants is how systematically you have built the project. What I mean by that is how deeply you know the core functionalities of the project, how you have integrated them in a very low complex way, in a way that it works in a very smooth manner. So there is low CPU utilization. We are looking forward to some novel algorithms if you have implemented that. So we are not looking forward to any another wrapper, like just calling simple API, or doing just simple tool calling. No, that's not a production grade project. That's just a simple demo. So what we are really looking forward to is production grade project. We are looking forward to the system thinking of the participants, and coming to what the, like, on what basis the scoring will be happening is, number one, as I said, the novelty of the project, how uniquely you have built the project. Number two is the real world use case. Is your project solving any real world problem or not? And number three is the system level thinking, or let's say the tech stack you have used, and whether the tech stack you have used is being used efficiently from the problem statements perspective or not, or like you have just taken up some really famous tools to just build it for the sake of it. Like I might be hearing people using like, suppose there are two projects. One project is using docklink for resume parsing, and the second project is using llama index for document parsing or resume parsing. So which project I'm going to look forward to first is the one which is using llama index, because llama index help in preserving the structure of the document, but at the same time it helps in converting the document to vector embedding. Docklink just converts it to a structured format, like you get it in JSON format, but you would anyway need it llama index for converting into vector embedding. So the choices of the tech stack, how choosy, or by aligning with the principles of system thinking or building of any project, you have chosen the tech stack, that matters the most. So again, I'm emphasizing on it that system thinking is what matters the most, and that's what the judges are really looking forward to. Hope it answers your query, Srinjoy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Rati, you want to ask anything?
Yeah, I'm interested to know what will be the rewards for this, hackathon.
So, I mean, the stakes are legit high. So, like, not just the rewards, we also have giveaways going on. So, like, the current giveaway going on is the LinkedIn Engagement Challenge. So, what the participants are going to get is, Logitech mouse, keyboard, or, Microsoft t shirts, swags, and whatnot. So, if you haven't participated in the hackathon yet, you are legit missing out on something really fun and fascinating. So coming to the hackathon prizes is obviously monetary cash prizes are there for the top three winning teams, and at the same time, the top 10 teams are getting the pre-placement interview opportunity at KodeMaster AI. And personally working at KodeMaster AI, I know the kind of cooperative people we have here, and the workplace environment is so good, that you're not gonna find it any other place. So it's a place really looking forward to. So if you don't want to miss out on this opportunity, go and register for this hackathon. And obviously for women in STEM, obviously there is a special mention for them as well, and another cash prize for them as well. So the stakes are legit high, and definitely investment opportunity up to rupees 25 lakhs. So if you guys are building something really good, you guys are gonna get the result for that. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds great.
Harshita, do you have any questions?
Nothing, but I just wanted to ask all our viewers and participants to just go through our platform, utilize it because it is of your best use, and also make sure you register to our hackathon and take the good use of it. Yeah, that's it.
So thank you so much for the questions. Like, I wasn't expecting hackathon questions. Like, if you wanted to ask anything other than that, those questions are also welcome. But yeah, I mean, okay. So with this, we come to the end of the webinar. So thank you so much for everyone for joining this session and taking out time for viewing the webinar. So that's been my time, and it's your host Divya Tripathi signing off. Looking forward to another webinar, which will be scheduled for the next weekend. So, yeah,
Thank you for having us. Bye.
bye, guys.
Bye.